We're talking Red Bull Wings for Life, and joining me today is all-round incredible human being, someone who has been a friend and someone that I've loved for almost 20 years. He's a software developer, a drone pilot, and a Red Bull Wings for Life ambassador. Welcome to Jacaranda FM, Sandile Mkhize.
Thank you so much, Roz, and thank you for having me.
Sandile, your story is so beautiful, but people don't obviously know exactly what it entails. So can you tell us about your journey and also include how your life has changed since your very serious accident in 2013?
Yeah, for sure. Well, prior to my accident, I used to work in the entertainment industry. Something I truly enjoyed, as bartending is one of my first loves. But then unfortunately, in 2013, I had a motorcycle accident. I come from a family of superbike enthusiasts. And then, once I had that spinal cord injury, I spent about 2 years in hospital. And then after the 2 years, I got out and I've been trying to make my life worth living ever since.
So that kind of cataclysmic shift in what your life was before and what your life was now, with the accident kind of being the key changer, how do you mentally make a shift to, I'm now in a wheelchair and this is my life now?
Well, it's definitely a process, right? It doesn't happen overnight. I've been very fortunate to have a really, really good support structure around me throughout this entire process. And yeah, I think the shift sort of happens when you confront some difficult truths at times. I mean, I wouldn't say I was a bad person before the accident. However, I think I was quite self-involved. You know, you don't really worry about the world around you too much. There's not much to care about because things are going well in your life. But that event and sort of that trauma and tragedy happening, you know, kind of opened me up to a lot of things in life, you know, and in a weird way, I'm not sure if to say I'm better for it is a good way to say it, but I think I'm more human because of that accident. And yeah, being more human means you feel more and you're able to do more and to help more.
I think we have a closer friendship now than we did before your accident.
100%.
I think that kind of, and it's very coincidental that we are sitting here talking to each other completely. I just got the list of the person I'm interviewing and it happens to be my friend. So I think there's a depth to your humanity. I loved you before completely, but there's a depth to your humanity now that wasn't there before.
Oh, 100%. I think something as simple as, hi, how are you? I think, and sadly, I think that phrase has sort of lost its true meaning because people tend to respond automatically, you know, hi, how are you? I'm fine, thanks, how are you? You know, not really like, hi, what's going on? And I think that is the one thing that has definitely changed, I think, since the accident, especially with you and I. It's like, hi, how are you? And I would respond fine, and you'd be like, no, I'm asking, how are you? And yeah, being able to connect with people has made living so much better.
Yeah. So you've got definitely a bright side to you and a brightness to you in how you approach the fact that you're in a wheelchair. But there have been hard times, which you're also very open about. I mean, we've seen in this documentary that you've done for Red Bull that there were times when actually it didn't seem possible for you to go on living.
Yeah. I don't know where we were all sort of sold this idea that we should only be chasing happiness, and happiness is sort of the only goal in life, right? I think humans are complex and we have different emotions, and all of these emotions are not bad things. I think sadness is useful. Unfortunately, you know, we all do get sad and things get low, but this is all part of the experience. So me understanding that it's okay to not be happy all the time. It's okay that life can be overwhelming. You know, being honest with myself and also saying it publicly as well, a lot more people have told me as well that they're going through the same thing. And then it just made me realize that no, it's okay, guys. We're all doing our best, and some days are better than others, and that's okay. Yep.
And I don't think you realize how much that openness about the down times actually is a light in other people's world, because all of a sudden I'm not alone. All of a sudden someone else is going through a similar thing, and it's okay not to be okay?
100%. And I say 100% a lot.
Me too.
Well, I always see there's two things. Like, there's always sort of the elephant in the room of, there's a wheelchair guy here, so we don't want to say anything offensive. But there's also a zebra in the room, right, where nobody really wants to talk about sort of them not being okay. And I think this is contributed by multiple of things. You know, like social media, for example, people tend to only publish the shiny things in life. But the moment somebody sort of opens that door and has that conversation, it gives other people the opportunity to do the same. It actually also gives them permission to say, you know what, guys, I'm struggling. And yeah, if we can all just better take care of each other and also listen when people need to be heard, then we live well, we live better.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you get involved with the Wings for Life World Run?
Total accident. Total accident. No pun intended.
See, this is the nonsense. This is my friend.
So my accident happened in 2013, and, you know, spent some time in hospital, and I'm sort of navigating life and trying to figure out how to live, right? I had a wonderful, wonderful therapist at the time that randomly just showed me that, hey, man, there's this race that's happening. And I don't remember specifically, but I'm pretty sure I lied to him. I acted excited about the race, but I knew deep down inside I'm scared. Yeah. Why do I want to be in public? I mean, I haven't been in public spaces for almost 3 years. Because the few times I did go out, you just feel like everyone's staring at you, and that kind of sucked, you know? So I started Googling about the race after you told me about it, and I realized there's more people in wheelchairs, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to be the only one. Let me go. Let me see. And I ended up having the time of my life. It was beautiful. It was crazy to see how many people were involved. It was crazy to see that it was an international event happening at the same time. And sort of that sense of community made me feel that I'm not alone. And then I met some wonderful people, like one of my now adopted sisters, Nicolene and Alan. They were running an organization called Oco Global. And then I don't know why, but I committed to running from Cape Town to Joburg with them the following year. And then every year I've just been trying to find something cool to do with this race. And yeah, that's how I've been here, and I've fallen in love with it.
Yeah. The initiative for me is actually what makes the Wings for Life World Run so special, because 100% of the proceeds go towards spinal cord injury research, because all the research in the world can be done. There can be a person with a brilliant idea that could maybe help people and get them out of wheelchairs. But if the funding isn't there for this person to do their work, it's not going to happen.
Yes, and I think this is something that nonprofits should not shy away from. The more resources are in a particular space, the more your vision of the world can be expressed. Unfortunately, things cost money, and research costs money, and quality research costs money. But what makes the partnership, I think, with Red Bull and Wings for Life so special is that all the money raised goes towards spinal cord research, and the only reason that's possible is because Red Bull covers all the administrative fees. They pay the people's salaries, they pay for the admin, they pay for the activations, they pay for the advertising to get people to come out. So, and what's also quite lovely is that, like, if I didn't tell you it was a Red Bull thing, you wouldn't know, because they don't brand their stuff. It's just Wings for Life, right? Yes. So yeah, that's the whole point. It's just, part of doing the podcast as well is I do want to get as many people to sign up, because the more money we have, the sooner we can solve this problem, and the sooner people don't have to go through some of the trauma and pain that I went through.
Yeah, and you can actually see the global impact that Wings for Life has. You can see how the money raised goes towards the spinal cord injury research and makes a marked difference in the lives of the people that need it.
Yeah, I would encourage everybody to Google and search as much Wings for Life as you can. One of the most special moments and milestones is one of the individuals who had a spinal cord injury and was a participant in some of the trials and the research being done, actually walked in one of the races. They walked, I think, the first kilometer, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe just under a kilometer. So progress is happening. People are being healed. However, there's still much more work to be done to get to a point where we can confidently say that spinal cord injuries is a thing of the past. Yeah.
If your spinal cord injury was a thing of the past, if you got a chance to be I don't want to say cured, but if you got a chance to maybe be on a trial that was successful, would you do it?
This is a yes and no answer. So if I had to maybe take a magic bullet, or a magic pill rather, and I'll be fine overnight, chances are I'd probably take it. However, realizing that, these things do take, especially somebody like me who's been injured for so long, I'd have to go through so much rehab to get my calf muscles back, to get my legs strong enough and my hips. I think I'd spend too much time getting to a point of walking that I'd miss out so much on life.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm willing to make that exchange right now. I mean, I feel more useful in a wheelchair, and to be honest, walking seems overrated at times. I get good parking at malls now, so there's an upside as well.
That's such an insightful answer that only you could give, because only you know now, in this room sitting across from me, what it's like to be able to walk and then have something happen to you and then now not be able to walk. I love that answer, absolutely. What's your experience been like with the Wings for Life World Run over the years?
Oh, special. I think it's going to be quite a challenge to put that into words, because different years have had different things, right? I've ran with you and your family, I've spent time with my really good friends. At one point, we met Gugu Zulu as well for one of the races before he passed. And yeah, you see faces, life gets busy, and we all don't live in the same spaces, right? Or same areas. You see people once a year and you catch up as if, it's been a day or two that you haven't seen each other. So it's been that, but there's also, I think, me specifically, because I genuinely think, like, spinal cord injury and all, I'm one of the luckiest people I know, because I've met amazing people on this journey. I was fortunate enough to meet the CEO of Wings for Life. She's fantastic. And it just seems like everybody's just good humans, man. And my life is just better for it, because, as much as I share my story, they share their stories with me as well, and that makes me, grateful and happy. So I'm blessed, man.
Yeah. And I've done the race now a few times, once with you, and then we've also done it when I was pregnant with Fallon, so I didn't get very far. But the race is not just about the race. It's that thing of the community that you mentioned, right? So at the start line, everyone's there in their Wings for Life t-shirts, waving their South African flags. Like you said, everybody goes off all over the world, 34, 35 different locations. Doesn't matter the time zone, everybody goes off at the same time. And then you get back, once the catcher car has got you, we'll get into that, and everybody just sits and watches the screens of all the people running all over the world, and it's that feeling of, in Afrikaans there's this word, saamesang.
Yes.
It's that feeling, right? And it's an absolute vibe.
No, it's beautiful. Yes, don't get me wrong, the pushing and the running is fun, but the drinks and the food afterwards is also quite amazing on the day,
True.
But it's so nice to spend time with the family, and I have tried to think of what can I compare this race to, and there's really nothing. It's just the run in the community. If I could spend every Sunday like this, I probably would.
Definitely, I agree with you. So I was chatting about the catcher car and how the race works, because it's not the Red Bull Wings for Life 5K or the Wings for Life 10K. Yeah. It's as far as you can go.
Yes.
Explain that concept to someone who's never done the race and maybe is a bit kind of huiverig because they don't know really how far or how fast they need to be.
Yeah, well, this is what I only realized probably 2 years into the Wings for Life World Run, how genius sort of the concept is, because it makes it accessible to everyone.
Yes.
Whether you're a pro runner, whether you're an amateur runner, whether you just want to come out for a date, maybe you've never ran in your life.
Yes, maybe you're walking.
You're just walking. So the whole idea is there's a catcher car. So in some locations, it's a physical, actual car that drives. We used to have one in South Africa. Unfortunately, with COVID and everything, we're sort of rebuilding it. But there's a catcher car that happens virtually as well. So what it does is the car does not move for 30 minutes. And then once the 30-minute mark hits, it starts moving at a particular pace. And every 5 minutes or so, the pace of the car increases. So it'll start slow and it will just keep getting faster and faster. And at some point, it will catch up to the fastest runner.
Yes.
I think last year, some people went as far as 60 kilometers, so it's cool. So it's nice.
So it almost like levels the playing field, because you can be any level of fitness, you can be a wheelchair athlete, you can have prostheses, you can be a walker or anything. If you go as far as you can go and the catcher car catches you, that's cool, because you've done your bit. You've done your bit. By participating, you are involved in making sure that the spinal cord injury research gets done, Also, the other thing for me is it's so funny. It's like, as the catcher car kind of comes closer and closer, you just see everybody running, looking over their shoulders, people trying to run like kind of backwards. It is absolutely hilarious. Where can people sign up for the Wings for Life World Run happening Sunday, 5th of May?
Yes, please, everybody go to wingsforlifeworldrun.com or the Wings for Life World Run. And you will get your information over there and you'll be able to sign up. In South Africa, there's going to be 2 events. There's going to be one up in Joburg, which is going to be in Irene. Yeah. And there's going to be one in Cape Town as well. I'm not too particularly sure. In Greenpoint, yes, correct. However, if you're not in these locations, you can still run virtually as well.
Yes.
So you can still, this will be done via the app, where you download the app and the catcher car will catch you digitally.
Yes.
But yeah, you can participate from pretty much anywhere. And also you can reach out to Jacaranda FM. You can reach out to me on social medias if you have any questions, and we'd be more than willing to answer any questions that people have.
Listen, I am so excited. Sunday the 5th of May. I'm going to be there. Sandile is going to be there. You should be there, because it's just the most incredible initiative and it's a really fun day out. The Wings for Life World Run happening Sunday the 5th of May. Details, wingsforlifeworldrun.com. We will see you there.